Namaskaram. I am Mr. Shyam Sundar from Mumbai. I am a Tamil teacher for Mumbai Tamil Sangam. I have been conducting class for the past 30 years. I am teaching for all types of people who are speaking different languages. I have taught many students like Bengali, Sindhi, Punjabi, Marathi and Gujaratis, many Tamil people. So this has been, I have been conducting every Sundays at Mumbai Tamil Sangam. Just as an introduction, I wanted to give you a background of Tamil, origin of Tamil today. See, I have written on the board the map of India. You see the map of India, this map was done in the year 26 Jan 50. Before this, the map was different because there were many other countries were together. After the bifurcation, see, we got independence 1947 and after 3 years became a republic. So due to that, there was a lot of bifurcation of the countries. So this is a map after 26 Jan 50. I have shown the direction, north, south, all this. Initially in India, there were only 4 zones which are controlled by central zone. North, south, east, west, like that. So I am going to take up this south zone from where the origin of Tamil took place. See, previously this zone was called as a southern zone, Madras constituency, under which there are 4 states like Andhra, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. You can find out this now. See, our India, it is surrounded by water on 3 sides. India is surrounded by water on 3 sides. We call it as a peninsula. In Tamil, we call it as Karpagathivu. If the land is surrounded by 4 sides of water, we call island. That we say Thivu. So here, see, can you see this? This side is the Arabian Sea, the north Himalayas, and the south you find Bay of Bengal and Thoothukudi. And here on the tip of the south you find Cape Comorin, that's Kanyakumari. So when you take up this Kerala, Trivandrum is a capital and Cochin is a port. In the same way you find here Mumbai is a port. These are natural harbours. Why do you call natural harbours? Because when a ship enters the port, you should have an access to come back. That's called indent. So this Kerala, Cochin is after Cochin you find there's a place called Kollam, which is previously called as Quaidon. So every day there was a train running between Kollam to Chennai. This area was called as a Travancore region because it was ruled by Travancore Maharajas. You find the 50% portion, see, from Kollam to here on the center part, this is called Tenkashi, under which there is a fort ruled by the kings. It's called Shengotai. I have written here, Shengotai was a fort. In this area, in Tenkashi, you find a very beautiful waterfalls. It's called Kutralam. It's called Kutralam. So in this Kutralam only, the sage Agastya Muni, who found out the Tamils, we call this as the founder of Tamil Sangam. And his disciple named Tolgapiyar, who generated this grammar in Tamil. And moreover, you find that all over the world, Tamil people are settled, like Japan, USA, UK, Mauritius, Singapore, all those places. And every time, also 10 years, there is a conference by all the people where you find that these people also speak Tamil in a very nice way. So this is a proof that this is the oldest language, very oldest language. So here from Shengotai, Agastya Muni, he was doing penance. So he was an ardent devotee of Lord Shanmugha, Lord Subramanya. So it's said that Lord has ordered him to spread Tamil language. But Agastya Muni is also a scholar of Sanskrit, Tamil and Malayalam. You always find there is a combination of Tamil and Malayalam. But in Malayalam, you find most of the this thing is with Sanskrit. All the languages, it has got a Sanskrit base. But Tamil is a peculiar thing where you find Tamil and Malayalam, certain words which is not found in other languages. And apart from this, I would like to identify certain important personalities in South, like Subramanya Bharati was a national poet, was a communist minded, but unfortunately he died at the age of 47. But he was called as a very national poet, and his poems were translated in Russia and all. And one more person in the literature, when you see, there is a lady called Avvaiyar, who was a daughter of Pallava king. She is called as a grand old lady of Tamil Sangam. And again, Thiruvalluvar. Tirukkural is one of the famous verses in Tamil. This is the first verses which translated all over the world in all the languages. It's got only two verses, which has got a hidden meaning. It gives something about advice, how the people should live, how a king should rule, how a mandri should be, how a wife should be, like that. It preaches all these things, advices to the people, mankind. So, nobody knew where Thiruvalluvar was born. Only we got his epics. Oldest epics. In the olden days, there was some system called, everywhere you find these kings, they construct a temple, and there will be a pond. But certain poets, when they want to, in the olden days, there was no paper. They used to write in a papyrus leaf. It's called Yedu, we say. It is tied up with a thread. So suppose you are a poet, I am a poet. So there will always be competition. So you have to throw this Yedu in the river, the pond. Whichever floats, that won the competition. Whichever that go inside the water loses. So like that, many epics were spoiled. And apart from that, I would like to give the background that in the olden time, this southern province were ruled by 3-4 kings. Mainly when you take up the literature in Tamil, we speak only about 3 kings, Sera, Chola and Pandya. When you see, the Sera kingdom has become Kerala, and Chola become the Tanjore side and all, no? Tanjore, all those Kumbakonam, all those places come under that. And Pandya ruled from Madurai to Kanyakumari. But I told you, for certain areas in the borders of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, it was Travancore Maharajas who ruled. They were under these Pandya kings. So when you speak about these scholars, apart from that, I would also want to identify certain national leaders like Kappaloti Tamilan. He is called Babu Chidambaram from Tuticorin. Then olden days, it was under British regime where they used to run the ships in our Indian soil without allowing our ship to go on. So Vau Chidambaram, he wanted to run the ship in our Indian soil at Tuticorin, and he was an ardent devotee of Lokmanya Tilak, and he obtained sanctioned permission from Lokmanya Tilak, and he who drove our ship in our Indian Ocean first time. So that's why he got a title as Kappal Ottiya Kumar, Kappal Ottiya Chidambaram. Kappal Ottiya Chidambaram means, Kappal means in Tamil it is called ship. Okay. Kappal Ottiya Tamilan. He was a Tamilian who first drove the ship in our Indian soil. So there are even national poet, and they were arrested in the British time, and they were tortured in the Andaman Nicobar jail, cellular jail, what you call. So in a Tamil, there are when you take about the vowels, we find there are 12 vowels in Tamil and 18 consonants. The derivation will be called, this vowel is called Uyir Elithu. Uyir means soul, and Mei means Sharira, it is body. So a soul cannot, it should have a body, it cannot live alone. The same way a body requires a soul. So that's why a beautiful name given as Uyir and Mei. The combination of this is called Uyir Mei Elithu, which you call it as Barakadi in your language. So when you totally take up, there are 12 vowels in Tamil and 18 consonants, and the derivation becomes 216 letters Barakadi. And there is one letter called Hagdu. This particular letter is found only in Tamil, because there are some letters like, for we in Tamil we write Ka, Bha, Bha, everything is same. Ka, Ga, Ga, everything is same. So, and apart from that, see, when you say the Uyir Elithu is 12, consonants is Mei Elithu, and 216 is this thing. And there is a letter I told you, it is special letter called Ayudha Elithu. Ayudha means weapon. Wherever we cannot have the letter in between, we use this letter. That is speciality of this letter. And there is a letter called Lo, which is found only in Malayalam and Tamil. Last time I have given the introduction of Tamil and the origin of Tamil and the background of Tamil Nadu. So in short, I have told you this vowels and consonants. Today I am giving you a brief description of the total number of Tamil letters. Can you see the board? There are vowels, what we call it as Swara in Hindi. There are 12 vowels in Tamil. And the consonants, we call it as Mei Elithu. That is Vyanjan. It is 18. And the combination of this derivation is 216 letters. And there is one special letter called Ayudha Elithu. One letter. So the total comes to 247 letters. Okay. So there are some letters we are adopting, for 6 letters we are adopting from Sanskrit, that I will teach you on some other lecture. Okay. So let us, today we are going to see only the vowels. I am only going to teach you only 6 vowels today. Just you have to practice each and every letter one full page. Okay, I am just showing you how to write this letter. First, let us see this A letter. It should be written like this. And all our Tamil letters start with a circle and end with a circle. See, the R is written like this. I am showing in the hand. Then comes A letter. Here, you have to make a semicircle and circle. This becomes A. Here the circle you find at the bottom. It's bigger one. This is short vowel, long vowel. Like that. This is E letter. It will be difficult. You are good in design, you can practice it. See, just like this. And you write like this. Then a bigger one, E letter with 2 dots. But you find in the old books, certain books are writing here a circle here. Whether a circle or dot, both are same. According to convenience, you can write this letter. E. And then comes U letter. Is like this, just like do in English. This is U. And the other letter U. See, above this a small letter. You would write it like this. It's called U. So these are 6 letters I am teaching you today. So everybody has to practice it. Each and every letter, one page.